Welcome to Gentle Somatic Yoga and lots of other tools for just feeling whole. And it's very easy to feel fragmented in a world that is so overwhelming. And there's no doubt that the world has been overwhelming recently. And then you add on whatever is going on with you personally, and you can really start to feel less than a whole person. And so today's practice is not about being perfect. It's just to sense, everything that you have and be very present with what's ever there and shift your nervous system into a state where you can feel whole. So we'll start off with a breathing practice that I've been doing a lot lately that I really am enjoying, and I hope you enjoy this as well. And so find any comfortable seated position. It doesn't have to be on the ground. It's pretty early to be on the ground. You can either be cross-legged on your knees in a chair. Just make sure that your spine is nice and long and that you're comfortable. Now, you are welcome to have eyes open with a down gaze or eyes closed, whichever you feel more comfortable in. So before we start this breathing practice, do a check-in, a soma scan, and you can notice the parts of you that maybe don't feel whole right now, but as you're noticing them, then shift your attention over to those parts that feel good, because it's often the parts that are feeling bad that make us feel less than whole. For instance, I was having some vertigo this weekend and feeling very worked up about that, and had to do an awful lot of self-care to get back to feeling whole again. And if I have anything to say as we age, we have to focus more on self-care. We have to rest more. We have to slow down more. And when we slow down, we can then regroup. And when we regroup and recenter, we feel a little more whole. So just scan yourself for places that do feel good today. And it's not that you're ignoring the other places. You can spend a second there, but then shift over to a place that feels good. Now start to notice your breath. We're going to direct our breath to different areas of our body. And if you're a tactile person, you might want to put your hands on those parts of the body. So we're first going to direct our breath very low down, feeling it all the way into the pelvic area. So just slow the breath down and breathe in and out of your pelvic area. Now, as you're doing this, just notice if this is a comfortable place to breathe into, or if this feels a little awkward for you. Just take notice, be curious about it. Anytime you're curious about something, you are shifting your nervous system into the parasympathetic branch or the safe and social branch. Now shift your hands and your breath up towards your rib cage. Some people like to place their hands on the outer edge of the rib cage. Some people even like to place a strap or something around the rib cage for some feedback. So this breath is a little different. It should feel like almost like a sideways breath. So just notice this breath. Notice how this lands in your body. Keep it nice and slow and steady. Are you feeling this more on one side or the other? Stay curious. Is this a breath that you like better than the one that you did initially, or is this one a little more awkward for you? Now we're going to move our breath up to the chest area. If you like the tactile feel of placing your hands there, so direct your breath to your heart center. Slow and steady. And do the same kind of inquiry here. Is this breath comfortable for you? How does this make your nervous system feel? Is this calming to you? We've done 3 different breaths so far. Is one of them resonating more with you? Now very gently shift your hands up to the throat area. You don't want to grab your throat. You might just place your hands somewhere around the throat. You can almost feel a vibration when you're directing your breath here. So nice, slow, steady breath directed up to the throat center. How's this breath feeling for you? Is this uncomfortable or comfortable? What's coming up for you as you're breathing like this? And now cup your hands, cover your eyes, maybe place your pinky and the 4th finger in the center of the eyes. And visualize breathing all the way up to the 3rd eye. Slow and steady. Does this breath feel comfortable to you? What are you noticing when you breathe like this? Now drop the hands down towards your lap and we'll put it all together. This is sort of a conveyor belt breathing where you'll start the breath at the base of your body in the front and breathe all the way up the front body. And then the breath will come all the way down the back body on the exhale. So you're making a conveyor belt, breathing all the way up the front to the top of the head, exhaling all the way down your back, slow and steady. See if you can witness what you're sensing as you're doing this. As if you're standing outside watching this breath, noticing. So if you are a journal keeper or you like to jot down notes, my classes have a lot of interesting little things you could jot down as you are taking it. I know at least one of my students does this all the time. She writes notes down. But we'll go into some movement practices now. If you want slide, if you were on a prop or something, you might want to slide off of it. Turn your fingers away from you, place them in the back, and just start to gently rock side to side. Rocking motions for many, many people are a great way to shift their nervous system from this constant go, 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 which is the sympathetic system, into more of a quieter place, into the parasympathetic. And so this is just something you can do for yourself in any sort of fashion, in any place, some sort of rocking. So stretch one leg off to the side. If you're going to mirror me, you might be doing your right leg off to the side and then the other leg in. If you need to be propped up, you might elevate your hips at this point if this does not feel comfortable. And just begin to rock off that back leg, turn the foot down, and then rock back and maybe turn it slightly out. Once again, we're doing a little rocking action, but we're now starting to get the hip involved, and this knee can come up when you're rocking back. And you're doing a little bit of a twist as well. Small movements. And you know what I forgot to do? Well, I'm not going to put my blanket across yet, just because we are going to be doing some standing postures. But it's really nice to have a blanket stretched out over your mat when we end up on the floor for the rest of the practice. But right now, we won't do that. All right, come back to stillness. And with this leg off to the side, interlace the hands behind the head and just gently tilt one elbow toward the knee, one elbow's up toward the sky. Come back to the center and then tilt the other way. Again, these are small movements. They're not designed necessarily to stretch. They're designed to release chronic tension. And there's a difference between pulling into a stretch and just allowing these tense muscles to let go. Now you can let go of a hand and go a little bit deeper and come back. Now turn to face this leg and then go toward the leg with the elbow and come back. Go to the side again and back, and then elbow toward the leg and come back. Now bend up this knee, and if you can, place your head pretty close to the knee. It might touch it, it might not. Wherever it is, imagine that you've got a string connecting it. Start to slide the knee away. Don't go into pain, particularly in your right hip. Stop short of pain. The minute you're starting to feel too much tension here, release the upper body, release the leg, and then repeat this. Theoretically, you should be able to go maybe a little further each time as your muscles start to release and as your nervous system deems it's safe. We're creating safety. Last time. Maybe it's a little further this time. And then release. Now go ahead and allow your body to lay forward just momentarily. Stay curious about where you feel this. And if you can, take this leg behind you and bend it back. Let's start to maneuver this hip. Create little different shapes. Don't just go back and forth. Maybe do a figure 8. Maybe go up and down a few times. See if you can get this hip to move in novel ways, circling one direction and circling the other direction. And then let's go off and twist again. A little more of a twist now. And release. And when you release, just lay down in a softened position. Lift back up again, elevate the body, and twist. And you can do all of this with the eyes closed once you see me do it or once you've figured out what you want to do with your body. And then soften down to the front. Come back up and twist. And last time, soften to the front. Go ahead and release this leg off. Draw the leg over the other leg. You can either sit like this or stretch the underneath leg out. See if you can feel both sit bones. Sit up for a second, and then once again, soften, curl down. Inhaling, sit up. Exhaling, soften. Inhaling, sit up. This time, twist towards your right if you're mirroring me. Exhaling, soften. Lifting up, inhaling, twisting. And exhaling, soften. Release the legs. Place hands behind your back. Fingers pointed away, and go back to some sort of rocking, some sort of nervous system reset. And then let's set up for the other side. Now, sometimes we feel less than whole because one side is different than the other. And I know for me, stretching my leg out on this side is just a bit more challenging. So I'm going to create a little more of a support so that I can feel whole. There's nothing wrong with feeling supported. You know, we're allowed to get support and not feel less than whole. Let's go ahead and dip an elbow down to the leg. And then dip an elbow the other way. Dip an elbow down to the leg and dip it the other way. And now release the arm that's close to the leg and lengthen that arm down as you might go a little deeper. Now face the leg and draw the elbow toward the leg. Come back up to neutral. Go down toward the side. Come to neutral. Twist toward the leg. Elbow toward the leg. And neutral last time like this. And elbow toward the leg. And neutral. Now bend up this knee. And place the head close toward the knee. Maybe it's on the kneecap. Start to slide the foot away, maintaining the same distance between the head and the knee until it starts pulling too much. When it starts to pull, gently release it. Release the leg down, release the upper body up. And let's repeat this with the idea that maybe each time you're getting a little more natural range of motion. It's not that you're stretching, we're releasing. We're releasing tension and signaling to the nervous system that it is safe. Last time, Use your breath to help you, any natural breath. All right, now let's bend forward and see if we are able to do a forward fold, and where we're sensing this, where are you feeling the sensations? Be curious about it. Go ahead and draw that leg back and start to maneuver this back hip, trying to get it moving in novel ways. Novelty is a great way to create new neural connections in your brain rather than always doing things the same way. So explore, experiment, do an inquiry. And let's go ahead and twist. And then when we come back, maybe lifting up and softening. Go into a twist and come back and lifting up and softening. Now, the next time we twist, let's come back and lay over. And then go into a twist and come back and lay over. And last time, twisting and releasing to the front. Gently release this leg, cross it over your body. Either keep this other leg bent, or you can lengthen it out, whichever allows you to sit comfortably on both sit bones. Sit up straight and tall, and then you can collapse gently over the knee. Engage muscles when you sit up tall. Disengage the muscles. So this very purposeful engagement and disengagement is all about brain to muscle communications. Oftentimes, the communications get really fuzzy and we stay in a tense place all the time. We want to have the brain signal tension or, engagement, and the brain to signal release. So go into a twist over the bent leg. If you're mirroring me, you're twisting to the right. Soften to the front. Re-engage. Twist. Come back. And release. Go ahead and let those legs stretch out in front of you, hands behind the back, fingers pointed away, and go back to rocking. This is also a great time to do a releasing breath practice, a cleansing breath, which could be inhaling and making any sort of sound on the exhale. Or whatever sound feels like a good release. All right, we're going to make our way up to standing, and you can do it any way you want to. If you want to go through a downward dog to a forward fold, you can. I don't think I'm going to do that today because I do not want to test my vertigo. So I want to go up in a gentle fashion. So one of the ways to feel whole is to work with what's going on right now in your body, in your mind. It's not to like push through and deny and feel like, I just got to do it no matter what. It's listening, respecting, and not feeling less than when maybe for whatever reason you have to do things gentler this day. You have to rest a little bit more. You have to get rid of some things on your schedule. So anyway, let's go ahead and do a wide stand. Start with your toes pointed forward and just go down, not too far, just go down and up. Now point your toes out and go into a squat. Well, I don't know if that's a squat. It's probably not the modern definition of a squat. Breathing, paying attention to your body. And maybe you feel like adding some arms in. So maybe you could stretch your arms out front and then draw your arms up when you're doing this. Toes pointed forward, stretch arms, out front, I forgot. And arms like that. Okay, shake things out. And let's build into a balance today, very slowly, very gently. You can have a wall nearby or a chair nearby. So the first step in this balance is to figure out which foot you want to balance on first. You don't have to do the same one I'm doing. And for a moment, just take the weight off the other leg just by being on the ball of that foot and just slide your ankle side to side on the leg you're balancing on. Just because really the ankle is supposed to do this when you're balancing. It's supposed to kind of go back and forth. So you're just helping it do that. Okay, then see if you can find a center point and then just lift up the foot briefly and just notice if your other leg is still going back and forth like that. And then put the toes back down, put the heel down, transfer the weight between both feet. And maybe you want to build from there. Maybe you want to stick with that one today. Again, when you sense yourself as whole, you don't have to push past where you feel whole, right? You don't have to always challenge yourself. A little bit of challenge is good, but when you challenge yourself too much, sometimes makes you feel less than, especially if you're comparing yourself to someone else. And just notice if your ankle's still going back and forth. Now, maybe you want to do something like grab under this thigh, maybe not. Okay, go ahead, place the toes down, place the heel down, transfer your weight between both legs again. All right, let's go ahead and do all of that pattern on the other leg. So starting off, you're on the ball of the foot and you're just purposely rocking back and forth on your supportive leg just to feel the inside and the outside of the foot. So now you may want to lift up and then see if your standing leg is naturally now doing that, rotating side to side on the ankle. Go ahead and put the ball of the foot back down, put the heel down, and just transfer the weight between both feet. Maybe you want to build on from here. You don't have to. You can stay wherever you still feel whole. Don't do anything that makes you feel less than whole today. So if this is not going to work for you, don't grab this. Just maintain that feeling of wholeness, breathing. Whew. Interesting, my leg cramps when I grab it on this one. The other one doesn't. Be curious. That's the other thing. When you stay curious, you're still staying in that parasympathetic nervous system. That's the one you want in charge. Okay, go ahead and let that down. And maybe today I don't want to go all the way down. So I'm just going to do a wide-legged forward fold, maybe downward dog onto a chair. So I'm going to widen my legs. I'm going to lengthen myself back
and get this lovely length in my spine without putting my head too far down today. And breathe and release all the work we've done. Just seeing how you feel. Okay. Come back up and move things out of your way. We're going to be on the ground for the rest of the time, so this would be a great time to spread a blanket out. You could cover your whole mat, since I have a funny shaped mat. Mine doesn't completely cover it. If you need something to drink, go ahead and grab a little bit of tea or water or whatever you brought in for yourself. Okay. Let's be on hands and knees just for a little bit. And slide back and forth a few times. If you're able to tuck the toes in, when you go back, you'll get a nice opening of the bottom of the foot where many of the meridians are, either starting or ending, all the meridians. Well, not all of them. There are a few that don't go all the way down to the feet. But you have a lot of your energy channels there. Okay, go back and forth. Each time you go back, maybe feeling a little pressure on those toes to open the bottom of the foot. Okay. Using your breath. All right. So now lift up the feet from the mat and draw the feet to one side and look over that shoulder and come back to the middle. And draw the feet to the other side, look over that shoulder and back to the middle. Side to side. And now come down onto the forearms and work the spine from being on the forearm. So just see if you can do these little spinal undulations on the forearm. And then let's come into a seated posture with our feet in front of ourselves and the knees bent to release our neck. So you're sitting like this, feet in front, knees bent, arms around the legs, and just look up and see what kind of tension you have in your neck. And then draw the head parallel to the ground. Place your hands behind your back, fingers pointed away. Slide one foot about a foot's length in front of the other foot. Come up to the heel. Curl the toes toward the earth. Release the toes. Flatten the foot. Slide the foot back. Lift the toes. Do this 2 more times. Slide the foot up, forward. Curl toes down. Let toes go. Flatten foot. Slide foot back. Lift toes toward nose. Last time with this foot. Slide foot forward, up on heel, curl the toes, release the toes, flatten the foot, slide the foot back, lift the toes, and maneuver the toes. Release the arms from behind your back, place them around your legs. Look up and see if you have a little more range of motion looking up to the sky. Let's do the other foot. Slide the foot forward, come up to the heel, curl the toes, release the toes, flatten the foot, slide the foot back, lift the toes. 2 more times. Foot forward, heel, curl toes forward toward the ground, let the toes go, flatten the foot, slide the foot back, and lift the toes. Last time, forward, up on heel, curl the toes, let the toes go, flatten the foot, slide the foot back, lift the toes, and have all the toes be fluttering as if they're playing piano. Go ahead and place the arms back around your legs and see if your neck is even a little more released. And let's continue working head, neck, and shoulders just for a minute or two from a seated position before we head on to our backs. So drop the chin to the chest and draw the chin up. Chin to the chest, draw the chin up. Drop ear off toward right shoulder, lift the shoulder, drop the shoulder, head to neutral. Drop ear off to left shoulder, lift the shoulder, drop the shoulder, head to neutral. Chin to chest, and very gently and slowly rock it side to side. Very slow, very gentle. Now take your second and third fingers, find the indent right underneath your skull, the suboccipitals. Just give it a nice rub there. This is a tension point for people with headaches and sore necks, and we hold a lot of tension up here. And take your fingers and make like a comma shape, and take the comma shape of the fingers, find this muscle right on the top of the shoulder, and see if you can feel how tight it is, and dig the fingers in. Meet yourself where you are. Breathe through this and release, and do this maybe 2 more times. Dig those fingers in. See if the muscles will soften and release. And third time, dig the fingers in and release. Let's go ahead and do the other side. Make the comma shape with your 4 fingers. Find that tense spot on top of your arm and shoulder area. It's kind of a ropey muscle. Dig those fingers in. Let it go. Dig the fingers in. Let it go. And dig those fingers in. Let it go. Shake out the hands. Just rotate the shoulders softly. Cleansing breath. Maybe just start to circle your upper body around a little bit. You don't have to sit cross-legged if cross-legged doesn't work for you like this. Change the
direction of the circle. All right, before we get down on the ground, let's see if there's a mudra that will help us feel whole. Let's see if this one will work. Yeah, we're going to do the Anushasana, the all-pervading current of energy. Attuned to my all-pervading current of energy, all facets of my being are integrated as a seamless unity. So that is a good way to help us feel whole. All right, let's get to the page. Oops. Okay. All right. So on this one, you would just make the hands into a fist. The thumbs are on the outside of the fist, and the thumb is resting on the second knuckle of the ring finger. So take your thumb and rest it on that second knuckle, and then extend the index finger out straight. Let me come a little closer so you can see this. So thumbs are touching the ring finger knuckle, and the index finger is just sticking out. Okay. Rest the backs of the hands onto your thighs or knees and hold the hands out from the sides of your body. Relax your shoulders back and down. So Anushasana means direction, command, or instruction. And the Anushasana mudra awakens and enhances your all-pervading current of the Vyana Vayu, which is your current of vital energy. The mudra lengthens your exhale, supporting the movement of vital energy outward towards your extremities. It's integrating your entire body. It brings warmth and energy to the toes and fingers, and the overall effect is the integration between the center and the periphery. So it creates some harmony so that you feel whole. Awakening all-pervading energy is your guided meditation. If you haven't already done so, you might want to consider closing your eyes. As you hold the Anushasana mudra, just take several natural breaths to attune to all feelings and sensations awakened by this gesture. With each and every inhale, sense your breath naturally concentrated in the center of your pelvis. This is your energetic core of your being. With each exhale, sense the current of violet energy radiating outward from your center towards your extremities. Take some time and breath to watch the flowing of energy from the center to the periphery. See if you can synchronize it with rhythmic breathing, and just visualize the nourishing and integration of your entire being. Each time you inhale, sense the violet energy concentrated at the center of your being. Each time you exhale, allow the all-pervading current to radiate down, first to your legs and feet. Take several breaths to allow your lower extremities to be fully nourished with the vital energy and have it be integrated with your entire being. For the next few inhales, connect the center of your being to the abdomen, the solar plexus, the lower and the mid back. So visualize the energy and the breath going from your pelvis to these areas of your body. It's a violet light. Allow the middle portion of the body to be infused with the all-pervading energy. The next time you inhale, the violet energy is back to being concentrated at the center of your pelvis. And as you exhale, the Vyana Vayu energy radiates into the chest, the upper back, the shoulders, the arms, and the hands. Take several breaths to allow your chest and upper extremities to be fully nourished with this life force energy. Infuse these areas with warmth and vitality. With the next inhale, sense the violet energy once again being concentrated in your pelvis. And as you exhale, it is flowing upward to your neck and head, naturally integrating these areas with your torso and extremities. Now sense the all-pervading current infusing your entire body from the center to the periphery, supporting circulation with your bloodstream, optimal communication along all your nerve pathways. As your entire body is being nourished from center to periphery, take several breaths to sense this greater integration, harmony, and wholeness. We will affirm the all-pervading energy by repeating following 3 times, or you can come up with your own. As the all-pervading current flows freely, I experience integration, harmony, and wholeness. As the all-pervading current of energy flows freely, I experience integration, harmony, and wholeness. As the all-pervading current of energy flows freely, I experience integration, harmony, and wholeness. Go ahead and release the hand gesture, gently blinking open your eyes, hopefully feeling more whole as you make your way onto your backs. All right. So go ahead and do some windshield wipers on your backs, rocking again, checking in to see how you feel. Deciding where you want your arms, whether you want them over your head or by your side, or maybe even on your body. Stretch both legs out. Draw arms by your side. Have muscles activated in your left leg, so as if you're standing on it. Allow your right leg to just flow freely up into a tree pose. And then place the foot flat on the ground, knee to sky. Draw hands under kneecap, draw thigh close to belly.
Lift leg up, point toes, flex and draw leg back close to belly. Place foot over the other leg. Go into a twist. Come back, put foot down next to leg, inside of the foot, slide foot down to starting point, shake it out. Engage the muscles of the right leg. Let the left leg loosely lay on the outer edge of the foot, slide up into a tree pose. Come up to the flat foot, knee to sky. Draw hands under kneecap. Draw leg close to the chest. Release leg up to sky, point toes. Flex, draw knee close to chest. One more time. Release up to sky, point toes. Flex, draw knee close to chest. Draw the leg over the body, land on the foot, go into a twist. Release the twist, bring foot back to its own side. Slide down on the inside of the foot, all the way to neutral. Shake it out. We'll repeat this sequence one more time, but add one other thing. So engage the muscles of the left leg. Let the right leg turn out to the side. Slide up into tree pose. This time draw hands possibly up overhead so that you're imagining you're in a tree pose standing. Now bring knee up toward chest. Hands under kneecap. Stretch leg up, point toes, bend knee, flex toes. Place foot back on ground. Allow the knee to go over the side into a twisting action. Slide back down on the inside of the foot. Shake it out. One last time with the other leg. Engage the muscles of the right leg. Let the left leg come into a tree pose as arms can go over the head on the ground. Now bring arms under the kneecap as you draw knee into chest. Lift up leg, point toes, bend leg, flex toes. One more time. Point and flex. Put foot back on ground. Allow knee to cross over midline. Slide foot back. Shake things out and just do a check-in of the whole body, seeing how your body feels. Bend the knees one more time. Let's rock our pelvis forward and back a few times, recentering everything. Feeling whole no matter what's going on. Breathing wholeness into the body. And then maybe drawing knees into chest, doing some sort of an inversion before you settle down into your shavasana. Whatever you feel like doing here. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So the reading today from Mark Nepo is called At Home in Our Skin. That's about feeling whole, right? The spiritual life is about becoming more at home in your own skin. Anything that removes what grows between our hearts and the day is spiritual. It might be the look of a loved one stirring their coffee as morning light surprises their groggy eyes. It might be the realization while watching a robin build its nest that you are only a temporary being in the world. It might be a fall on ice that reminds you of the humility of your limitations. As Parker Palmer suggests, the aim of all spiritual path, no matter their origin or the rigors of their practice, is to help us live more fully in the lives we are given. In this way, whatever comes from a moment's grace that joins us to our lives and to each other, this is spiritual. For example, I was having coffee the other day in a cafe, and suddenly from the rain of noise around me, there arose a word of truth in the exposed voice of a stranger whose face I couldn't even see. I don't know her context or her story or whom she was revealing herself to. I didn't even turn around to see her face, because in that moment, there was a perfect beauty in our staying anonymous. I only felt simply and deeply that without her ever knowing, her moment of pointed and unexpected truth made me more at home in my own skin. The life of spirit is everywhere, in dust waiting for light, in music waiting to be heard, in the sensations of the day waiting to be felt. Being spiritual is much more useful and immediate than the books about books would have us think. So center yourself, and as you breathe, realize that your spirit feels your life, the way your bones and the blood fill your hand. And as you breathe, realize that your life fits the world, the way your warm and living hand fits a glove. And as you breathe, feel your spirit fills your skin, and feel your skin fit the world. So I by chance opened up to that page, but it sure is about feeling whole, in my opinion, that we are more than just our aches and pains or whatever is making us feel unwhole, that we are spirit. So take your time, make your way back to seated. And I'm wishing and hoping that the rest of the day, no matter what you are faced with, that you come back to feeling whole again and recognize that you are so much more than any obstacles you face today. So hands at heart, let's acknowledge each other and say namaste.